Good morning everyone. I am Dr. J. Anupralika. Today I am here to deal with the subject biopharmaceutics and pharmacokinetics. So before going to the introduction, I want to say about few things about drugs. Drugs, whether obtained from animal source, plant source, mineral source, or obtained chemically or by any of the synthetical processes, but these type of drugs or the therapeutic agents will be administered rarely in the purest form. Generally, our drugs will be generated from animals, generated from plants, generated from mineral contents, and also they will do synthesis and they will form a new products. But these were not administered in a pure form, but these type of drugs, but all the drugs were administered in combination with inert substances and excipients, and after combining with all the inert substances and excipients, those product will be converted into suitable dosage form and then they will be administered through a suitable route. Okay, so here in earlier days, generally the people are thinking that okay, the therapeutic response of the drug is an attribute to an intrinsic pharmacological effect. But nowadays it much well understood that the dose response relationship is not only depends on the therapeutic effectiveness of drug, because here we are having different route of administrations. For example, if you take oral route and parenteral route, in oral route we are taking the drug through the mouth. So after the administration of the drug, it should cross all the biological membranes. It should cross the stomach, intestines, small intestine, large intestine, and after crossing all the biological membranes, then only it enters into the systemic circulation and produces the pharmacological effect. But when compared to the parenteral route, here parenteral route, if you are administering the drug through the parenteral route, it exerts its pharmacological within 10 to 15 minutes. So when compared to two routes, oral route is having some delayed action and parenteral route is having a rapid and fast action. So depends on the route of administration also, the pharmacological effect of the drug will be varied. Not only that, the variations will also observed when the same drug is administered through two different dosage forms. For example, if you take paracetamol drug, it will be having different dosage forms like syrups, tablets and injections or parenteral forms. For example, if the same paracetamol tablet, if I am injecting through the parenteral route, it will give a fast and immediate relief. If the same drug, if I am administered through the syrup form, it is having the different effect. If the same parenteral drug, if I am administered through the oral, as a tablet form, it is having other different pharmacological effect. Means the same drug, if we are preparing in different dosage forms, it is having different effect. Not only that, if the same dosage form prepared through by different manufacturers, such same dosage form is also having different pharmacological effects. And hence, because of all these factors, a new and separate discipline have been developed called as biopharmaceutics. So this biopharmaceutics will study all the factors regarding the rate and amount of the drug absorption. Okay, so coming to the biopharmaceutics, here the biopharmaceutics is defined as the study of factors influencing the rate and amount of drug that reaches the systemic circulation and use this information to optimize the therapeutic efficacy of drug products. So here they are saying that the study of factors. So for example, if I am taking one drug, the drug influenced by different factors like physicochemical properties of the drug, physicochemical properties of the excipients, nature of the dosage form, manufacturing process, manufacturing variables. So depends on all these factors, our biopharmaceutics means the drug therapeutic effect will be depends. So that's why the biopharmaceutics indicating that it influencing all the factors influencing the rate and amount of the drug which reaches the systemic circulation, whether after reaching the drug, whether it is producing a good therapeutic effects or toxic effects, everything will be studied by these factors. These factors will be the biopharmaceutics is nothing but the study of factors. So these all the factors comes under the biopharmaceutics. So this biopharmaceutics is mainly depends upon 4 terms, that is absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. These are the main 4 factors which influencing the pharmacological effect of the drug. So this biopharmaceutics is mainly depends on absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. Coming to the absorption, here they have defined the process of movement of drug from its site of administration to the systemic circulation. Site of administration means what? For example, if I am taking the drug through the oral route, my mouth is the site of administration. So after taking the drug, it will reaches the systemic circulation after 1 to 2 hours, after crossing all the biological membranes, after crossing the GIT and everything, it will enter into the systemic circulation. So from the movement of mouth through all these biological parameters and entered into the systemic circulation. So all this journey comes under the absorption. So how much amount of the drug is absorbing into the systemic circulation, how much amount of the drug is reaching the systemic circulation, that one we are calling as absorption. And the other important definition is bioavailability. Bioavailability is defined as the rate and extent of drug absorption, means how much amount of the drug is reaching the systemic circulation, how much fastly the drug is reaching the systemic circulation, that one we are calling as bioavailability. In simple terms, I can give one example. For example, if you take the paracetamol 100 mg tablet, if the 100 mg paracetamol tablet, if I am administering through the oral route, out of 100 mg, if only 50 mg of the drug reaching the systemic circulation, then that bioavailability is 50%. So here 50%, but out of 100 mg, if only 50 mg is reaching the systemic circulation, then the bioavailability is 50%. For example, among the 100 mg, 75 mg of the drug is reaches the systemic circulation, then we are calling as 75% bioavailability. If the drug out of 100 mg, only 10 mg is administering, 10 mg is only reaching the systemic circulation, then we are calling as 10% bioavailability. Okay, next, what do you mean by drug distribution? So we know what do you mean by absorption. Next, the second important term is drug distribution. For example, the movement of drug between one compartment and other. In simple terms, they are saying that our body is having different compartments. If the drug is moving from one compartment to the other compartments and distributed the drug through all the compartments. For example, our blood is the main center of the drug property here. So for example, if the blood is distributing the drug to all the organs, then we are calling as distribution. For example, I am having 100 rupees, I am having 10 students. For example, in my 100 rupees, I am sharing 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees to all the students. Then that is we are calling as distribution. So in our body we are having different organs. Our blood is the main organ, or the blood is the main component which distributes the drug to all the components. So if the drug is distributing to lungs, liver, kidneys, heart, everything evenly, then it is calling as drug distribution. Okay, next, coming to the elimination. Elimination means what? Nothing but removal of the drug from the body. Elimination means nothing but removal of the drug from the body. For example, if I am taking one drug, the 100 mg of paracetamol drug, after some time all the 100 mg of drug is excreted from our body, then that one we are calling as elimination, means the termination of action from the body by removal of the drug from our body, then we are calling as elimination. Okay, coming to the drug disposition. Here we have taught about distribution and elimination. What do you mean by distribution? The movement of drug from one compartment to another compartment is called as distribution. And the second one, what do you mean by elimination? The process of movement of drug from our body and excreted entirely from the body, 100% of the drug if excreted entirely from the body, then we are calling as elimination. So combination of distribution and elimination we are calling as drug disposition. Combination of drug distribution, drug elimination, combinedly we are calling as drug disposition. Okay, so again this elimination is of two processes. One is biotransformation and the other is excretion. So this biotransformation are also called as metabolism. What do you mean by biotransformation or metabolism? Nothing but if the active form of the drug is converted into inactive form of the drug, then that process we are calling as biotransformation. How the drug is converted to inactive form? In our body, we are having different enzymes, okay, in the gastrointestinal tract, in the liver. These two are the main having the higher amount of enzymes which convert the active form of the drug into inactive form of the drug. If the drug is passing through the GIT, in the GIT we are having different enzymes. Different enzymes were secreted in our body. Because of such enzymes, the active form of the drug will be converted into inactive form of the drug. And the other main source is liver. So maximum number of the drug if crossing through the liver, because of the enzymes secreted by the liver, those enzymes will convert the active form of the drug into inactive form. Inactive form means it does not show any pharmacological activity, which is waste to our body. Coming to the excretion, nothing but if the drug is excreted from our body, if the drug is exit from our body, then we are calling as excretion. So these are the four important terms. Which defines the biopharmaceutics. What are the four terms? One is absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. Absorption is nothing but the process of movement of drug from the site of administration to systemic circulation. Site of administration means nothing but if I am taking the tablet through the oral route, my mouth is the site of administration. Systemic circulation means nothing but blood. Systemic circulation means nothing but blood. So if the drug, after administration of the drug, when the tablet reaches the systemic circulation, it will accounted as absorption. How much amount of the drug is reaching the systemic circulation, that one we are calling as absorption. Distribution means equally after entering the drug into the blood, it will equally distribute the drug to all the organs. So after the distribution, where the pharmacological activity is required, on that place the drug will act and produces a clinical benefits. Coming to the elimination, nothing but termination of action of the drug. If the drug is completely eliminated from the body and completely removed from the body, then we are calling as elimination. So the combination of drug distribution and elimination we are calling as drug disposition. Again, this elimination process is of two types. One is biotransformation, which is also called as metabolism, and the other one is excretion. So here the metabolism means nothing but the active form of the drug is converted into inactive form of the drug because of the enzymes present in our body. Coming to the excretion, nothing but the exit of the drug from our body, means the complete termination of the drug from the body we can call as excretion. These are the four important terms regarding the biopharmaceutics. So in order to administer the drug accurately and optimally, absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination, these are, we should know all these factors including pharmacokinetics. So not only about ADME, but also we have to know what do you mean by pharmacokinetics. So pharmacokinetics means nothing but time course of drug, ADME, and their relationship with its therapeutic and toxic effects of the drug. For example, after administration of the drug will first should absorb in our body. After absorption into the systemic circulation, the blood will circulate or distribute the drug. After that, in the process of distribution, some part of the drug may enter into the liver and enter into the GIT. Maybe over there will be a formation of active form to inactive form, and there will be elimination. So all these not only all these process, but we also have what are the therapeutic effects and toxic effects of the drug. So all these comes under pharmacokinetics, the study of ADME along with its therapeutic and toxic effects, then we are calling as pharmacokinetics. So how much time the drug will spend in our body, we are calling as pharmacokinetics. So the process of ADME, therapeutic and toxic effects, if all these terms together, we are calling as pharmacokinetics. So by using these pharmacokinetic principles, we can prepare a suitable dosage form as per the patient's need. For example, in human beings, we are having adults, infants, we are having elder patients, we are having different ages of patients. For example, I am preparing a paracetamol syrup, tablet, injections. For example, if we are taking children or kids, they cannot swallow the tablet. For them, we are giving the syrups. For the adults or the younger persons, we can give the tablets. For example, if any of the patients are in severe conditions or unconscious, we will give the injection. So the same drug is having different dosage forms as per the patient's need. So how we are preparing the suitable forms to the patient's need by the use of pharmacokinetic principles. Okay, so this is about pharmacokinetic principles. If the patient is having a good clinical benefits from the suitable dosage form, then we are calling as clinical pharmacokinetics. Okay, if the drug is having a good therapeutic effect to the particular person and showing a good pharmacological effects, then we are calling as clinical pharmacokinetics. Okay. Coming to the next point, here we are having drug administration. After drug administration, we should have a good therapy. So all these were divided conveniently into 4 phases, means the drug administration and therapy were divided into 4 phases. So what are those phases? Pharmaceutical phase, pharmacokinetic phase, pharmacodynamic phase and therapeutic phase. These are the 4 phases. One is pharmaceutical phase, pharmacodynamic, pharmacokinetic and therapeutic phase. Coming to the pharmaceutical phase, this pharmaceutical phase means nothing but it is mainly concerned with the physico-chemical properties of the drug, physico-chemical properties of the excipients, nature of the dosage form, manufacturing process and all. Means before preparation of the tablet, we are having different factors relating to the drug and excipients up to the compression studies. So all these factors comes under the pharmaceutical phase. Coming to the pharmacokinetic phase, it was mainly concerned with absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. These are the 4 steps which will be involved in the pharmacokinetic phase. Okay, simply we can say what do you mean by pharmacokinetic phase means how the body is reacting to the drug, then that we are calling as pharmacokinetic phase. How the body is reacting to the drug, how the body is reacting to the drug and how the drug is entered into the body. So for example, if we are taking body, so after the administration of the drug, the body should absorb the drug into the systemic circulation and produces a good effects. So how the body does working on the drug, that we are calling as pharmacokinetics. Coming to the pharmacodynamic, it is nothing but how the drug is acting on the body, means depends on the drug mechanism of action, drug factors, means half-life, biological half-life, elimination rate, everything will be depends on the pharmacodynamic phase, means how the drug is acting, what the drug does to the body, we are calling as pharmacodynamic phase. Coming to the therapeutic phase, it is nothing but after the administration of the drug, if the drug is showing a good clinical benefits, then we are calling as therapeutic phase. Not only the clinical benefits, any pharmacological action is showing on the body, then it is calling as therapeutic phase. So these are the 4 important phases regarding the drug administration and the drugs therapy. So after the introduction, coming to the first important term, that is absorption. So we are mainly concerned with absorption, distribution, metabolism and elimination. Among the 4 factors, absorption, distribution, elimination are the most important criteria regarding our pharmacological effect. Coming to the drug absorption of drugs. So after administration of the drug, if the drug we are taking intravascularly, means through the parenteral route, if we are taking a drug, what is happening? The drug enters into the systemic circulation directly and produces pharmacological effect, because if I am taking the drug through the parenteral route, there is no absorption step for that. If I am taking the same drug through the oral route, absorption is very important criteria, but if I am taking the same drug through the parenteral route, there is no absorption, because the drug we are directly injecting into our veins, means directly entering into our systemic circulation and produces the pharmacological effects within 10 to 15 minutes. Whereas if the drugs, but most of the drugs were administered through the extravascular route, that is generally through oral route. So if after the administration of the drug through oral route, it produces the pharmacological effect only if it enters into the systemic circulation. So for entering into the systemic circulation, absorption is very important step regarding such extravascular sites, mainly through the oral administration. So following absorption, the effectiveness of drug can only be assessed by its site of action. So when whatever route we are administering the drug, either through the parenteral route or oral route, intramuscular route or subcutaneous route, whatever route we are using, when we can measure the concentration of the drug only when it reaches the systemic circulation. Okay, so generally that measurement can only be assessed to the site of action, but here at site of action it is very difficult to measure the concentration of the drug. Hence, in the place of site of action, we are measuring the concentration of the drug in the plasma. So in the plasma also we can accurately measure our drug concentration instead at site of action, because at the site of action we cannot measure the concentration of the drug. So in the place of site of action, we are measuring the concentration by following the plasma concentration. So generally there always exists a correlation between the plasma levels and the therapeutic benefits of the drug. For example, after the administration of the drug, after 1 to 2 minutes, if I am taking the sample of my drug and if I am testing it, if it out of 100 mg, 70 mg of the drug is available in my body, then we can say, okay, 70% of the drug is present in our body. So it depends on the plasma concentration of the drug, we can know how much amount of the drug is entered into the systemic circulation. So but here there is another clause. For example, if I am taking the drug through the oral route, it is releasing the drug, but it is releasing the drug in a subtherapeutic level. Means, for example, I am taking 200 mg of paracetamol tablet. So if out of 200 mg of paracetamol, if 150 mg of paracetamol tablet reaches the systemic circulation,